Welcome to Romaine Stadium. The Jasper Wildcats are on the road again here in Evansville, Indiana against the Harrison Warriors. The Wildcats, after their win last week against Evansville Memorial, stand at 1-0, and Harrison lost to Evansville Rights 31-7, and they are 0-1. Hello, everybody. I'm Craig Schneider along with Bob Welp and Jeremy Marcos on the video. And Bob, again, we're taking on a Harrison team. Tough week last week. They defensively gave up 359 yards to that Wrights team, including 219 yards passing and 140 yards rushing. So looks like they have a little trouble on the defensive side, but they always have really good athletes when it comes to the offensive side, and they're going to be looking to a couple key players on their team this year is Xavier Thomas. He's number one. He plays multiple positions, wide receiver, running back, defensive back. Last year had 33 receptions for 360 yards and 2 touchdowns. But one key player that they really want to utilize, and that's Albert Wadlington. He's number 31, and he's just one of those kids that just has a perfect build for a running back, 5'8", 175 yards. And last year he rushed for 516 yards and 4 touchdowns as a sophomore. So, again, the Wildcat defense, I feel early on is going to be really put to the test.
Well, you said it last week in the game. You really feel that the defense done it for Jasper.
Right.
You know, the offense put him in a couple of tough spots. Jeremy was making a comment after the game that if Jasper doesn't put the ball on the turf, they run away with that game. And with what the firepower Memorial was supposed to have, that's a testament to the Jasper defense. Now with that running back, what he's going to be looking at is that 3-3 stack defense that Jasper ran last week. When I was watching the game film, we usually set them, we'll slant them out, but we'll take our 2 defensive tackles and take them out right before the last guy on the offensive line. We'll shoot that gap. And then the linebackers, of course, line up accordingly, and they're usually about a yard off those defensive guys. As soon as the ball was snapped, if the ball rotated to the far side of the field, the backside linebacker was always shooting the gap. Now, That's a great thing to do, but when you play a team like Harrison that's got athletes, your containment must be top-notch. But Jasper, at some point, at one point in the game, they had very few guys with their hands on the ground. So Coach Lewis likes to have their guys up, seeing what's happening, react to the ball, and use their speed.
Well, and the key thing is going to be also tackling for this team because, again, when you get a player like Xavier Thomas, I mean, he's also a track star down here at Harrison. We all know how good Harrison is in track every single year. And so, again, he's just going to be an elusive player if they can get the ball into his hands. Now, as far as their quarterback position, be curious to see what they start tonight because they were looking at a couple different players coming into the season with Evan Doan, number 2, Levi Thomas, number 10. But it looks like last week they had to convert a wide receiver, Billy Sears, number 15, into that quarterback position. So we'll pay attention to where they start out tonight with that. And, again, the Wildcats, they're going to want to continue on with their rushing attack. I mean, my goodness, last week, especially in the second half, but they rushed 49 times for 245 yards. Very resourceful with the passing as well, where Wines Apple was 7 of 10, and he split that between 3 wide receivers. All ran with 3 catches, Connor Foley with 2, and Ian Giesler with 2. But I really think the rushing attack of Winesapple, Sheeter, Day, Ewing, I mean, it's a 4-headed monster back there so far and that we saw in that first game, and we're just going to really have to pound it against this team.
Ewing was the one I was most impressed with last week for the simple fact of I didn't know what I was going to get with him. Mm-hmm. I mean, I seen him the year before. He's a good athlete, but now you're putting him in a very key position. You know what you're getting from Day. You know what you're getting from Sheeter. Wines Apple, like we talked about, put the ball on the turf a couple times. But when you stick it in and you got to pull it out at the last second, I think he did an absolutely wonderful job. So hopefully Jasper can cover a little bit better than they did against Memorial, and we can get this game going in the right direction.
All right, so the Wildcats will be kicking off to the Harrison Warriors. And actually, kind of interesting out there, Sam Leonard, the Wildcat kicker, is not kicking off. So it looks like they got, is that Foley? Kicking off? I'm trying to see the number.
Does he stand above everybody else?
Well, that's the thing. I'm trying to see if he's on the sideline there. But, Foley had the punting duties. And again, we got the sun kind of in our eyes right now. But, looks like it's going to be Connor Foley kicking off. So Deep for the Warriors includes number 4, Miles Terry. He's a sophomore, 6'1", 145, and also number 1, Xavier Thomas is back there. And, the thing is, Thomas is just a sophomore, so again, actually check that. I think he's a junior. The roster said he's a sophomore, but I'm pretty sure he's a junior. And the Wildcats kick it off, and it's fielded there by Thomas. And now he gets to the outside. He's got an opening. Again, this was a problem for the Wildcats last week, was the kickoff coverage. And, again, just giving up a return there of about 35 yards. And so Harrison with great field position to start right at the 47-yard line.
A very simple problem to fix. Just our guy on this side kind of went in a little bit. Foley did a great job doing what the kicker's supposed to be doing, and essentially, like in baseball, playing the backup when they throw the ball to second, able to force him in. The guy got about 20, 23 yards, and now their defense just has to stand up.
So 1st and 10 for the Warriors, and again, their quarterback is going to be Billy Sears, so he's going to start off there under center with an eye backfield. And he's going to roll to his right and throw right away. He's got a man wide open downfield. If the Cats can get there, he's able to hit Xavier Thomas. So the Wildcats give up a big play to start this football game, not only on the kickoff, but also on the first play from scrimmage, and Warriors in business inside the red zone at the 18.
Well, the Warriors seen the same game film that we watched, when Jasper played Memorial. That when they get deep, we got to recognize their speed right away. We can't just guess on how fast this guy is. He got past our defensive back in the snap of a finger. We've got to keep our head up.
So 35 yards on the pass hookup, and now rolling to a right this time. And Thomas is right there, and just like that, 2 quick plays, and the Warriors are in the end zone for the touchdown. So, again, trying to utilize their top player, and that's Xavier Thomas. 2 plays, actually 3 counting the kickoff, and the Warriors did not take long with just a minute, less than a minute. We're talking 35 seconds into the game, and they're up 7-0.
Well, they're rolling their quarterback out on both plays, which lets you know that they're very concerned about our interior defensive line. I'm more concerned right now with our cornerbacks, that the receivers are getting past them way too easy.
Actually, check out, it's 6-0 right now. They're looking to make it 7. So the snap is there, and the kick is blocked, so it will stay 6-0 as the Cats were able to easily get there. So looks like Sheeter was the one that actually got his body in front, but so Harrison jumps out on the Wildcats early, leads 6-0 here on 18 WJTS. So the Wildcat pass defense was put to the test there on the first series of plays for Harrison, and they march right down the field, 2 plays into the end zone for a touchdown, lead 6-0, and set to kick off for the Warriors, and he pops it up there. It's going to be returned. It's going to be short, fielded about the 24-yard line, and there's an opening to the right side, and able to return it to the 42, and it looks like that was returned by number 16, Ian Giesler. Now check that. It was number 19, Ty Wiseman. So Wiseman's able to return it and give the Wildcats really good field position. So, again, the Wildcats just going to have to match that score on this first drive.
Well, go down 7-6. That's how we started off with Memorial and, started getting things rolling from there. But what I've seen so far from Jasper's on defense is very correctable, and I'm sure the coaches get that straightened out.
Ball actually spotted at the 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Actually, Winesapple keeps it, and he's got a wide open space on the right side. And it looks like Xavier Thomas is going to have to be the one to bring him down, but not before he is actually close to the end zone. He went down at the 1-yard line as we're going to spot this. So Winesapple, just like that, first play from scrimmage, fools the Harrison defense, and now the Cats are ready to put it into the end zone, actually spotting at the 2.
We were very concerned about that last week when Jasper marched down the field and scored, hoping Memorial didn't come right back down and take the momentum from us. So now we got the flip of the script, and that's exactly what Jasper's going to do here. And we're going to punch us in, kick the extra point, and then that first one straighten up our defense, and it's all for naught.
So a 55-yard run there gives the Wildcats 1st and goal. They split all brand to our near side. Bring a man in motion to backfield, and they give it to the left side, and it looks like Sheeter takes it in easily. So just like that, 2 plays for the Harrison Warriors on offense, a touchdown. The Wildcats 2 plays on the ground, and they're in the end zone.
Kind of game that might end up 55-51. But it's Jasper going for 2, which, I'm sorry. You're right, that was the second place.
They got Leonard out there. So it's not an injury situation, why they kicked off with Foley as opposed to Leonard, but he's out there to kick the extra point. Good snap, down. Leonard puts it right through, so Jasper gets the extra point, and that's the difference in this football game so far. Jasper 7, Warriors 6 here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Wildcats set to kick off to the Warriors, 7-6. We have not even played a minute and 15 of this football game, and there's a nice kick all the way to the end zone, so got a good boot there, and again, that's the best way to prevent a return is just to put it right there into the end zone. So the Warriors now will have to start 80 yards away from the end zone. First and 10 from they'll spot it right there at the 20.
Well, I've seen the defensive back coaches really get on our guys a little bit out there to be seeing if it's trying to get them guys to change their attitude a little bit, or if they're going to actually switch their positions around a little bit, maybe move them back 2 yards.
All right, so Billy Sears this time under center. Pitches out, and the Cats are all over that. That's going to be a big-time loss. And it looks like making the stop was number 50, Michael Beekler. Again, that nice thing about Beekler, a very athletic kid, 6 foot, 187, with a lot of quickness, and put him on that defensive line. That's really going to be key for the Wildcats all season against that rushing attack.
Well, as the quarterback was, when he received the ball from the center and he was starting to rotate his hips to make the little flip, he was already right beside the quarterback. That is some explosive off-the-ball move right there.
So a loss of 8 on the play. So second down and long. Quarterback's going to roll this time. He loses the football, so the Cats got pressure on him. I couldn't see who the number was, but the Cats are saying they have it.
That would make life a little easier if they do.
Yeah, it looks like Harrison did hang on, but still, Cats getting into the backfield against the run. And then now pressure on the quarterback as he was looking to roll out. So you're right, the defensive adjustments have been there so far on this series, Bob.
You know, I heard one of the coaches make a comment just a second ago saying that Thomas and Whipple were both in the game at the same time, number 1, number 5, that they were going to go ahead and throw the ball, and that they've evidently seen something in the game film. So we'll keep an eye on that the rest of the night when those two gentlemen come in together, if that means that they're throwing almost automatically.
All right, so third and very long, 24 yards they need for a first down, and they just trying to give an off tackle and just nothing there. So the Wildcat defense make the adjustments here, and the main thing is just pressure on the quarterback and dominate that line of scrimmage, and defensive line doing the job here on this series.
Our linebackers are doing an excellent job coming off the hips of the down linemen and reading those holes, reading that run, and getting up there. And whenever you see this game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white jerseys all around the ball, and you're going to have a lot of success of stopping these guys.
So 17 yards of loss here. Forces the Warriors to punt from deep in the end zone. Almost got there, and it's going to be a low punt if the Cats can get on it, but no, it's going to get a nice roll for the Harrison Warriors. So Cats had a chance maybe to field that at about the 35, but instead they're going to start right there at midfield. So the defense adjusts there and looked very dominant on that series of downs.
Yeah, adjustment indeed. You know, they had a chance to field that possibly on the 35. Mr. Winesapple's probably pleased that it rolled back to the 50, because now when he takes the ball around the corner and goes towards the end zone, that's 50 yards instead of 35, so he's probably pretty pleased with that.
All right, so Winesapple breaks the huddle here. The Wildcats split out Cooper Ewing and also Albrand. Single back there. And Brings a man in motion and actually gets Harrison to jump right off there. Their defensive end, Pete Brown, number 7. Kind of reacted to the Wildcats going in motion there, so that's going to give the Wildcats 5 free yards, and it'll be 2nd and 5. I'm sorry, 1st and 5.
When I seen the head coach over there drop his head, I mean, as soon as he lifted it up, number 7 was coming off the field right beside him.
Yeah.
So he probably wasn't too pleased with that.
Nope, not at all. So, okay, so the Cats come back with the same formation, first and 5. All right, this time they run Giesler in motion, and he comes back and he takes the football, gains maybe 2 on that run.
Offensive line's doing a good job now. The Hosses for Harrison, they got a couple of them down there, are doing a pretty good job. Towards the end of the night, we'll start to see them really go backwards because I believe our guys are in better condition. But at this point in the game, doing a nice job of getting up in the pads of the offensive linemen and standing them up, not letting them drive them away with their legs.
So 2nd down and 3. Winesapple drops back. He's got a man if he can get it there, and he hauls it in. Good play. And it looks like he was able to find Giesler there. Giesler is close to the 20-yard line, maybe just short right there at the 21.
Nice job by Winesapple to get his foot planted quickly. They had a little bit of pressure coming from the outside. And that was a heck of a catch because he had to turn his body sideways and almost shuffle step when he launched himself in the air to pull that in. And he did what all receivers are supposed to do. Ball hits the hands, you watch it come in, tuck it away, and take the positive gain.
So a 23-yard hookup gives the Wildcats 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. 3 wide receivers split, including Foley to the far side. Giesler comes in motion, but they give it to the fullback, and not much there. Cats gain maybe 2 on the play. And it looks like, was that Sheeter or Day who ran that football?
As soon as I tell you one, you know it's going to be the other. Right. So I'll let you do what you need to do.
Yeah, we're actually over here in the visitors' press box, and they got a screen kind of over the window here, so I'm kind of having to peek around the corner to be able to at least kind of eye some numbers here. Allbrand,
well, this
the man split out.
Be a good spot for Foley. They are crowding that line.
Get to the left side. Actually, that is Day, and Day gets a little bit of cut back there on that run, and see where they spot the football. He's going to be short as he's going to be at the 14-yard line, so pick up about 6 on that run.
Especially later in the game, I really like our chances when we get to the linebackers, when our offensive line does a nice job to where the first guy making contact with the running backs is the linebackers. Their linebackers are not big at all. And Day and Sheeter, I mean, they're going to put a punishment on those guys.
Right. All right, so from the 14, Cats need to get to the 10 or to the 11 for a 1st down, so about 3 yards. Now he's rolling to his left, dumps it out there. Should have, oh man, he had Ewing in the flat, but he looked for the taller receiver in Foley and just overthrows him there. So it's going to force a 4th down situation here for the Cats. They'll obviously go for it as Day comes back into the huddle. So you got Day and Sheeter in the backfield right now, needing 3 yards.
When Winesapple got about 4 yards out of the pocket, it really looked like he wanted to tuck that ball and go. And Harrison did a nice job of coming out a little bit further out towards the hash marks where he was and came up and made him get out. Now, throwing the ball over Foley is quite a feat, but Coach Lewis, no doubt, was this 2-down territory or 4-down territory.
3 backs in the backfield here. Actually give it to the first man through. No, he tries to pitch it out, and Cats are not going to get that. I thought he gave it to the first man through, but Winesapple kept it, trying to make a pitch there, and big loss for the Wildcats on that play, and that's going to give Harrison the football instead up about, let's see, we were at the 14-yard line. They're going to have it at the 24, so that was a loss of 10 yards on that play.
Yeah, the young man's got to know to eat the ball on that. Now, when he was spinning away, he was on the far side of the field. Who knows, maybe it got poked out. But that's the way I kind of like it. just don't pitch the ball when you're going down on the turf.
So the Cats on their second possession had the ball inside the 20-yard line down to the 14-yard line. Can't get it in, so Harrison with the football at the 24. Try to chuck it out there, and it gets thrown away.
Well, they better be very careful, because when he did that, when he brought that ball out, if it's a half-yard back, that's a lateral.
Right.
But once again, that's an example of them trying to get him out into open space. You know, Thomas is evidently just the man for him, and they're trying to get the ball in his hands as much as they can.
All right, stops the clock with 5:25 on left here in the first quarter. Jasper 7, Harrison 6. Just underway here at Romaine Stadium. Probably my favorite of all the Evansville stadiums down here.
Yeah, this is really nice.
Just right off the Lloyd Expressway here on the east side. 3 wide receivers split out here. So the Cats got a man wide open, and it's going to be a big-time hookup into Wildcat territory. And trying to see the number who caught that football, but it took number 20 for the Wildcats to make the stop, Braylon Bear. But it looks like it was number 5, Garrett Whipple, hauling that in, and he gets it all the way to the Wildcat 46.
Well, the defensive back just fell asleep on that one. You know, we'll call it what it is. We seen the post coming from the 7-yard mark. But, you know, he did bring him down. Now, if our defense can get a little stingy, that'll go for naught.
So a 30-yard hook up there.
Brought pressure. Got him.
There we go. We give credit to the stop. We'll give it to Sheeter, and also in on it was number 19, Ty Wiseman. So the Wildcats easily get into the backfield there and stop that play for a big loss.
You know, I like Ty Wiseman. That's a good little player. When he comes through, he's square up, and he brings a little bit of punishment himself. But that quarterback better watch out. With his size, you see somebody, Ashton Sheeter, come towards you. You're not going to see any red jersey when he takes you down.
So the quarterback's sack is a 7-yard loss. So second down and 17. Now back into Harrison territory at the 47.
They got a deep out.
Sears just tries to get into his hand, and you're right. It's right there is a hold all over Ian Giesler, but they did not call it. That was number 7, Pete Brown, but they're trying to hook up on that little pick play there. But it falls incomplete, forcing up a third down and 17.
Well, it kind of rubs you the wrong way when you see such a blatant call right in front of the official and not seeing a call. Fortunately for Jasper, they did not complete that pass and get positive yards, which has really been salt in the wounds. So we should be in pretty good shape here. Get a good stop, and I'm sure that Harrison will be punting if we can keep them on their side of midfield.
So Harrison, if they're able to get it downfield, they've been successful tonight. So it's just a matter of the Wildcats continuing to get into that backfield and force that quarterback. And there's the time he's actually got running room straight up, and he crosses the 40-yard line.
Good
35, he's still on his feet, and he's still going. He may take this all the way. And he will. So the quarterback, number 15, Billy Sears, scrambled out of the pocket and just had a wide open lane on the right side there. Broke a couple tackles and takes it 53 yards for the touchdown. So the Warriors back in business and with the lead over the Wildcats, 12-7 right now.
Coach Lewis cannot be happy. In a few of his interviews that he's had this week, after watching the Memorial game, he was very disappointed in Jasper's open field tackling. Well, there's an example right there of what happened. We had him 3-4 times and just let him go. You know, he's not the biggest guy as far as stature goes, but evidently he's pretty strong underneath, so you better wrap those legs and bring him down.
Right. All right, so Harrison is actually going to go for 2 here, and a little confusion in the huddle forces a timeout. So we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll be going for 2 for the Harrison Warriors. They're up 12-7 over the Cats here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Harrison Warriors going for 2. Actually switch up their quarterback. It looks like number 12, Caden Clemens, is back there. He's got Wadlington to his left, but they're going to do a jump ball over here, and the Cats actually pick it off, it looks like, or at least knocked it away, but the 2-point conversion did not go. They tried to get it to Xavier Thomas over there, and At his size, 6'1", 165, he's not able to bring it in. So the Warriors cannot convert, but they lead the Wildcats by 5, 12-7 here on 18 WJTS. Warriors now kicking off to the Wildcats. 3 possessions, 2 touchdowns. Converting on a 3rd and 17, turning that into a 53-yard quarterback scramble that goes all the way, making it 12-7 with 4:10 on the clock. And that's a light kick there, so the Cats should be able to get good field position here, but a trip up, little turf monster there tripping up. I think it was Wiseman who returned it again there, but we actually got a flag over here and a player down, so we'll see what the penalty is. Yeah, it looks like is that again Giesler that's coming off the field, so Giesler, key player for the Wildcats offensively and defensively. He's going to have to come off the field, but that's actually a penalty against the Wildcats. It's even going to push it back further. So we'll move it back from the 33.
I would say that personal foul call was the second guy probably got a good push in the back or something like that. Didn't like it, turned around. Second guy always gets caught. It's just an opportunity, though, with the penalty that Jasper can run it up and get a few more yards in their stat book after we get done pushing it in the end zone. They got to come out focused.
So that's going to move the football to the 19-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from there. So Sheeter in the backfield.
They're playing a 50, Coach.
And they give it to Sheeter straight up, and good stop there defensively. Looks like that was number 40 making the stop on that play, Elijah Owens. Just a freshman out there playing for this varsity team.
When you watch their defense, they are crashing the middle hard. Now they've got in their defensive backfield, as I've mentioned before, not guys of big stature, but a whole lot of speed. So they're placing their bets that these guys from the outside can chase down anything we put on the outside.
So 2nd and 9, 3:28 to go here. Still in the first quarter. 3 scores on the board, 2 of them for Harrison, 1 for the Wildcats. And the ball, I think the ball hit the turf there. But Winesapple's going to be able to hang on to it. So maybe a gain of a yard on the play. So now 3rd and 8.
Well, the one thing that I've seen is really the other major thing Coach Lewis was worried about this week, and that was complacency. He has mentioned on more than one occasions about people patting him on the back, telling him how wonderful they were last week. So, well, they've got a while to change this, but right now Harrison's got all the momentum.
And so Winesapple's going to roll to his left. Passes it out here. And he completes it to Cooper Ewing, so that's a big play there. It's going to be a 1st down. Wildcats able to get it to the 34-yard lines. We're going to spot that, so I'll pick up a 13 on that 3rd down play.
Excellent job, excellent call. They took Foley on that play design and took him deep, and we all know how much attention he gets. I guess they threw a flag, but they went ahead and picked it up. But with all the attention that he gets, you go ahead and you'll get a couple of guys running with you. Then you bring Ewing from the inside and bring him to the outside. And Winesapple did a really nice job on the run of putting the ball right in the numbers.
So a 3rd down conversion, 3rd and 8 the Wildcats face there. Now it's 1st and 10 as we come up with 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Cats trailing 12-7 early on in this football game. Catch from the 34, and Winesapple's going to wind around to the outside, and it's a high tackle brought down by his helmet is Xavier Thomas. But he's able to get out of bounds there, and they're going to spot this at about the 38-yard line. Pick up a 5.
You know, it's funny how time changes things. If you just even go back a couple of years, any tackle that high was the horse collar, and getting up around the head, that flag came out pretty easy. But it seems like it's not that big a deal tonight.
All right, so 2nd down and 6 from the 38-yard line. Get to the right side. That's Sheeter. Sheeter drags the defender across midfield there. And he gets that one all the way to the Harrison 47.
Well, if there was any question on how far the Jasper jerseys will stretch, you should have figured it out on that one. That Harrison Warrior was on his back and holding on for dear life.
So 15 yards on that rumble gives the Wildcats 1st and 10. Minute 36 to go here in the first quarter. All right, no, actually, Winesapple keeps it, and he pitches out there. That's Ewing with the football, and he's able to get across the 45-yard line down to about the 42.
This is really reminiscent of Jasper's opening drive against Memorial. You know, control the ball, the old, Chicago black or 3 yards in a cloud of dust type thing. Control it. Keep those playmakers off. If you can go out there and you run to Thomas's side and make him play defense, that's going to take a little bit away from offense. It's a good game plan.
So the 4-yard hookup set the ball at the 43-yard line. Winesapple keeps it this time, and he is met immediately right there at the line of scrimmage, trying to check the number. Can't see if it's 43 or 45 for Harrison there. Looks like 43, Dion Biggs, 5'11", 245, plug up the middle.
Well, Kippenbrock had his work cut out for him. He had his guy tied up, and another man comes out. And the way you're taught as an offensive lineman is you engage with the guy in front of you until you see whoever's going to gain the advantage, and you slip off and pop him off. But he had two guys at the same spot at the same time, so that was a tough one for him.
All right, so that brings us to the end of the first quarter. When we come back, Cats will be 3rd and 8 from the 44-yard line here on 18 WJTS. All right, we're back once again here at Romaine Stadium here on the campus of Harrison, Evansville Harrison. And the Wildcats facing a 3rd and 8 from the 44-yard line. Last time we had a 3rd 8, we were able to convert that with a 13-yard pass play to Cooper Ewing. Cats this time split 2 wide receivers to our near side, including Allbrand, number 4. Winesapple rolls out. He's got a man in the flat, and that is Ewing. So, again, another conversion there. That's going to be enough for a first down as he's able to get across the 35 to the 33-yard line.
Ewing, nice job coming out, hitting the button hook, coming back, attacking the ball, and securing the first down. But the way Harrison's biting on those button hooks, I've got a stinking suspicion at some point in this game, coaches are going to have them do a little hitch and go, see if we can get one over the top.
So this time that combo of Winesapple to Ewing goes for 12 yards, 1st and 10. Football spotted at the 34-yard line, just underway here in the second quarter.
Boy, they're really paying attention to the middle.
There we go, Day on the left side. Rushes that football close to the 25. They'll spot it at the 26-yard line, pickup of 8 on that first down run.
The one thing I like about Dave, the way he attacks the hole, is when he gets hit and when the guy's coming from the inside and he hits him and his momentum's pushing him out to the outside, he'll go with the momentum because he knows he's going to get another 2 or 3 yards. We've got some younger backs that will try to go into the pressure. Day does a real good job of using everything he can to get the extra yard.
Right. Okay, so the Wildcat offensive line, if they can continue to be physical there, see if the Cats can convert this series of downs into a touchdown. Winesapple looking to throw. Now he throws it out there. He's got a man. That's Allbrand. He hauls it in just over the fingertips of number 9, Dominic Brown. But Winesapple able to hook up 26 yards, and the Wildcats get the lead right back, 13-12.
The best ball that Winesapple threw, nice and tight. And like you said, right across, just drop it right over is what they tell you. Drop it right over the defensive back. He couldn't have done it any better. Offensive line did a nice job of containing their guys to where he could get back 4 or 5 yards and get it up. Receiver did what they were supposed to do. Great team effort, great score.
So Weinzappel with 51 yards passing on that series. And the kick is straight through. So Jasper 14, Harrison 12 with 10:19 to go here in the second quarter here on 18 WJTS. Zappa with a 13-yard pass play to Cooper Ewing, another 12-yard to Ewing. Both of those on 3rd and 8 situations convert to first down, and then the next play, after an 8-yard run, 26-yard pass to Allbrand gives the Wildcats a 2-point lead as Foley is set to kick off.
They moved Thomas to this side of the hash and moved him back about 3 yards. And it doesn't matter. Oh,
still gets, oh, he's actually over the shoulder catch there inside the 5. Now Thomas, boy, is head of steam, but man, what a pop. What a pop. I think that was Weinzappel. Did I get that? No, I'll take that back. That was number 82 putting a pop on there. That is Carmel Williams, 6'3", 170 pounds, but man, having fun on special teams there.
He came out of nowhere on that. Of course, being number 82, you know that Andy Holzman's probably sitting there going, hey, that was my old number.
Nobody remembers that except for you.
Hey.
And me. All right, 10-11 to go here. Harrison with the football at the 21. Pitch out this time.
Nice.
And the Wildcats all over it there. So again, you got to dominate the line of scrimmage on the offensive side. Cats doing it on the defensive side. And actually rushing the football that time was number 11, Alfonso Anderson, but he is shaken up and running off to the sideline. So Cats putting a nice pop on there. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
Well, the one thing that we have learned early in this game about Harrison is no play is a safe play because they've hit so many big ones. You know, with Jasper going down there and getting the score, but and getting the momentum back there. But the shot, you know, that he put on that guy on the return, that'll get a team up to high gear.
Right.
And hopefully this defense is fired up now.
See, and that's typically what it takes is to just be more physical.
Good read.
Actually, you're exactly right. The lead block was not there by number 7, Pete Brown, and the Wildcats just jumped all over it. So really nowhere at all to go for Garrett Whipple there. Actually a loss of about 2 on the play.
Yeah, but the way Kabrick got up in his shoulder pads, they may say, oh, he just missed the block. No, Kabrick got up in his shoulder pads, got him locked up, and tossed him aside like a rag doll, and did a nice job of containing him until his buddies came from the inside to finish it off.
All right, so 3rd down and 12, but Harrison has converted some first downs on 3rd down. The last time he went for a touchdown.
Well, they got their studs on the far right.
Sears flushed out of the pocket, and he just lofts it out there, and nobody there, so the Cats put the pressure on. I'm trying to see, was that... I'm going to start bringing binoculars so I can at least see out there to the field because, again, the gold numbers are just so hard to read. But anyway, the Wildcats' big-time pressure there forces a punt.
Well, you and I were, talking. We started to see a little bit of change in this game. Now it's yet to be seen whether we'll keep it up. But, good offense, defense comes out. Special teams did a good job. Maybe Jasper's going to start to assert themselves right now.
Actually, it was Cale Schmidt that forced that errant pass there. So a punt is going to be returned here right there at the 49-yard line. Good move. So Dave was able to handle that football, and that's the key. If you can get your hands on the ball, especially on a low punt like that, no reason why you can't return it 10 yards or more. So Cats with great field position at the 39. So hats off to the defense there, Bob.
Well, that was the 3rd step of getting this thing turned around. The offense scoring, the special teams did it. The defense, which hasn't really done a whole lot to this point. In fact, it looks totally different than the defense that we've seen last week. On that particular series, it looked like they brought that defense from last week. So hopefully that's the 3rd step, and we're just going to start controlling the game.
All right, so the Wildcats will split out 3 receivers, including Foley to our near side here. Cooper, and split out wide is Allbrand. Sheeter in the backfield. Looking to throw. And he's going to go for Foley. And, oh, man, just a little bit short there. And that allows Xavier Thomas to knock that football away.
Yeah, Foley had him beat. And even though Xavier Thomas is definitely an athlete, he's not going up to the heights that Foley's at. So quarterback, you know, we haven't run a bunch of those out patterns. Once he gets that down, that little bitty touch, and let the big fella go up and get it, the results would be a lot different.
All right, so that stops the clock here. Jasper with a 14-12 lead, 8:13 to go here in the second quarter. Cats force a 3-and-out and a punt defensively, so the Cats now 2nd and 10 as Gieser goes in motion. There's a little counter play and a wide open space for Ewing, and he's able to evade one defender there and takes it 39 yards for the touchdown. So a big play for the Wildcats. Put 6 more on the board, leading 20-12.
You've seen that developing the whole night. You were, let me put it this way, you were hoping that was coming because their flow was getting stronger and stronger and stronger to the initial play, whether it's Day bouncing to the outside or sending Sheeter up or Winesapple going up. We never brought the ball. Their containment was starting to get lazy because they haven't seen it all night, and Jasper just made them pay. That is a great call.
All right, so Joey McGimsey set to hold here. A little low snap, but he's able to handle it, and good job by Leonard. Good timing there, and pops it right through. So 21-12, Jasper leads Harrison with 8:04 to go here in the first half on 18 WJTS. Foley tees it up there, and again, Harrison just wants that ball into Xavier Thomas's hands, but the last time, man, he took a pop for number 82, Carmel Williams. So we'll see if the Cats can have a good coverage here. He's going to return it from the 5, so it's Xavier with it. Tries to cut across field. Cats have the angle, but he's able to get away if he can cut the corner there, and not able to, so he's going to return that football to about the 23-yard line. That was a play that looked kind of scary there for a moment once he kind of got to the sideline, but he took a pop to this over there, and he's still down over there on the Harrison sideline.
Well, late third quarter, early fourth quarter, that's when those things really, it's difficult to get up after the pounding he's taken. But, you know, he made something out of nothing there by getting him in open field, and we know that if our guys are too far deep, if you got to plant your foot and try to go back to catch him, you're just not going to do it. But as you alluded to, where no matter where Foley is lining the ball up on the hashes, that's the side they're putting Thomas, trying to get the ball in his hands.
All right, so the Warriors operating from the shotgun here. Billy Sears with 4 wide receivers, including trips to our near side, but he's just going to air it out there. That's going to be a jump ball between the two, and the ball gets knocked away. So it's like, was that Braylon Bear on the play? No, check that. That was actually number 16, Ian Giesler.
But that's a nice job of Jasper battling and the referee doing a good job not throwing it. Usually when you're on the road, you get that thrown against you. But, you know, they were both fighting for the ball. Nobody gained an advantage, so you keep the kerchief in your pocket, which is exactly what happened there. That was good coverage.
So the incomplete pass stops the ball at 7:52. 2nd down and 10 from the 23. And it looks like back on the field is Xavier Thomas, number 1, split to the far side.
We got a flag down here in the back. You would think game clock or illegal substitution.
All right, so a delay a game on the Warriors is going to push it back 5. So set up a 2nd and 15.
Boy, their inside slot here on the strong side here it's got nobody on him.
They try to give it to the fullback straight up there, so just no running room whatsoever for Wadlington, number 31. So that's going to set up a 3rd and long, no gain on the play.
defense not doing anything fancy. Got back to the old philosophy of teamwork. A lot of good gang tackling going on right now. You know, they get a stop here, and if Jasper's fortunate enough to put it in again, it could change the whole evening for the red and black.
A changing quarterback there as well. Caden Clements, number 12, rolls out. Cats get after him, but now he's got an opening. I don't think he's going to get enough for the first down, though, but, man, good quickness there. So, again, Caden Clements, a junior, 5'8", 160 pounds. Quarterback was able to rush that to the 27-yard line. But, again, not enough for the first down. Is going to force Harrison to punt the football.
Well, Jasper brought their linebackers from the outside, crashed them down. The problem is if you get too deep and these guys get to the corner, I mean, the quarterback was still wanting to throw the ball till he seen nobody out there in front, and he just took off and almost made it.
So Day back there, if the Cats can get there, he can kind of force the punter to do the rugby style, and now Day's going to field it at the 34-yard line, gets away from one man, and what a block right there. He can cut it up, and now the flag flies. I don't know why.
No, the helmet was in front. That was not a block in the back.
Wow. I mean, that was a nice block here by Braylon Bear, but I guess they're going to call it a blind side. So this is going to be pushed back.
I don't get it.
I mean, what else can you do?
Well, we're taught from the ground up that when you block somebody, you always make sure your helmet's in the front so they can't get you for blocking in the back. But you know, like you said, in today's day and age, you even brought up the blind side. You know, they say, oh, a defensive player. Hey, he's on the field.
Right. Yeah. All right, so that's going to push it back to the 19-yard line where the Wildcats will start. Plenty of time on the clock, 6:46 to have a nice sustained drive here if they can get the running game going. All right, so 1st and 10 here. Ewing and Allbrand split out. Bring Giesler in motion, but they give it to the fullback. And straight up close to the first down yardage there. So a nice run by Day.
You know, even though they've had similar success, it's funny how Sheeter and Day, when they come through the line, how different they are. Sheeter just drive you in the ground, and Day's so good at moving his hips and getting his feet underneath him and making cuts. It's really good to see a tandem like that.
All right, so he's able to get the first down yardage needed. So 1st and 10 on a 10-yard run, 6:05 on the clock from the 29 now. Give again. Day with the rushing room on the right side, so the offensive line doing the trick there. This offensive line tonight, again with the center, Jackson Bauer, guards Gus Heichelbeck and Jacob Potts, tackles Michael Beekler and Mateo Hernandez, starting to kind of control that line of scrimmage for this offense.
Well, as when the game started, we've always talked about the conditioning of Jasper. Harrison was having a lot of success stuffing us up the middle because they were able to get low. Well, when you get tired, one of the first things you want to do is kind of just stand up and get out of your stance. And then the offensive line is just getting into their numbers and driving them backwards.
Sheeter now in the backfield in the three-point stance, gets it to the left side. He's got room, and he is actually spun around there at about the 45-yard line. So a nice 9-yard run for the first down.
Eat the clock, go down and score. We get the ball at the start of the second half. Things are going in the right direction for the black and gold.
4:49 on the clock, plenty of time. Ball spotted just past that 45-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Cats from there. Jasper with a 21-12 lead. Looking to pass. He's got a man wide open. If he can get there, and just overthrows Giesler. But also it was a nice play there by Allbrand, but he was kind of looking to the right side. Allbrand cut on a post pattern there and was left wide open up the middle of the field as well.
Yeah, Albrand was gone. I mean, that was a really good read on his route.
So the incompletion stops the clock at 4:27. Second down and 10 from the 45.
It's one thing I like about Coach Lewis's play call. I mean, first down, the way we're running it, you think that's what we're doing. He's mixing it up nicely.
All right, Weinzappel now pitches out. He's got Ewing. Ewing absorbs the contact, but then gets knocked out of bounds, so that's going to stop the clock at 4:18. So plenty of time there, but it's going to be real close to that first down marker at the 45-yard line. See if they give it to him. And they do, so a 10-yard run, first and 10.
Mr. Weinzappel makes me nervous, how late that he waits to pitch the ball. But you know what? He's nailing it. And if you can go that late and get it off like that, that's perfect.
Yeah, he's actually got a really good connection whenever they run that option with Cooper Ewing. It's worked well so far in their first 2 football games this year. So 4:18 on the clock. Actually, they said just short, so 3rd and 1.
There's a counter.
There's a counter play, and that's actually Giesler, but I think he's going to get across there. Yes, he does get across the 45 to the 44-yard line, so gets the 1 yard needed, first and 10.
Boy, from looking at it from our vantage point, you just start to see things develop. And if our offensive lineman, gosh, dogs, it just a few split seconds more, if he could have held his block, he would have got to the sidelines, and that would have been a big, big play.
Clock running, 3:44. Ball rests at the 44-yard line in Harrison territory here. 3 men split out for the Cats. Got Sheeter in the backfield, and he gives it to Sheeter. That was one where Weinzappel, I think he pulls back because they just bid on that rush up the middle, and they easily stop it. But Weinzappel had an opening to the right side, but he picks up a couple yards there. Second down and 8, 3:18 on the clock.
With their big hosses in the middle, they're either going to get you right there or they're not going to get you. They're not chasing you down anywhere. Both of them went and crashed into the middle at that. And, of course, if you hit the slant of the defense, your play's going nowhere.
This time just all over it. Nice job defensively there. Deion Biggs, number 43, actually knocks the quarterback for a loss there. Loss of 3 on the play.
Well, one would think that this may change the coaching philosophy a little bit, being that we've actually went backwards. Now it's more of, hey, let's we know they're a big play team, but let's take as much, time that we can off this clock.
All right, so the Cats facing a 3rd and long here, 3rd and 11. Ball at the 45-yard line, 2:17 on the clock. Cats been able to convert a few 3rd downs so far tonight, but this is a key one here.
What a setup.
They run a throwback and a nice block here, and there goes Foley. He's left all alone. What a beautiful block. And Foley's going to take it all the way, 46 yards for the touchdown. Huge play there as they set up a little bit of a pick. He completed out there and a nice, I couldn't see who made the block there. But man, Foley took it in from there, an easy pitch and catch play that goes for another 6 points on the board.
Well, that's one of the big mistakes when people play against Foley. They see his size, they see his power, and all those things. But he's got better speed than most people give him credit for. Nice job of getting down there, and Harrison's caught us a couple of times deep, but not that time.
All right, so the snap is there, the kick is up, and another extra point is through. So Jasper puts 4 touchdowns on the board here. 2 minutes to go, just inside of 2 minutes. They lead 28-17 over the Warriors here on 18 WJTS. So the Wildcats used the tackle to pull him out there to make that block. It opened up that play, and just easily 46 yards for Connor Foley to take it to the house there. 28-12, minute 59 on the clock.
I don't think people realize how difficult a play that is for the tackle to get out there that fast. Because Weinzappel's got to get the ball out there in a hurry. Nice job.
All right, so squib kick this time, and it continues to roll, but it does go out of bounds. So just went out of bounds right there at the 5. So Harrison will get the football at the 35 instead of the 20, instead of kicking it all the way to the end zone. But yeah, Michael Beekler, what a pop he put out there to set up Foley with a wide open pitch and catch from the quarterback, Winesapple.
Well, not only just, I mean, his timing was so incredible, and like you said, your timing doesn't matter if you can't finish, and he definitely finished. And then the big fella took it to the house. But you know, with the old saying out there is, when you got a team that flows as hard as Harrison is towards us, well, how do you stop that? Well, you throw in a couple of counters, a couple of reverse screens. Coaching staff is calling a really good game right now.
All right, so the Warriors from their own 35-yard line have less than 2 minutes to go 65 yards to put more points on the board.
Bringing heat.
Right there, just straight up the middle, and he just had nowhere to go. But yeah, that was Sheeter just coming in untouched.
Well, Sheeter's one of those guys that are strong enough that he had a blocker in his hip, but able to reach over. And when you get that big old hammer getting a hold of somebody, he can hold on. He's strong enough to do that.
Loss of 6 on the play, 2nd down and 16. And now we got penalty flags here. All right, so this one's going to go against the Warriors. So it looked like an illegal shift or something there. So pushes it back. Now Warriors way back, 2nd and 21 from the 29-yard line. Check that note from the 24.
Warriors playing right into Jasper's hands if these passes are incomplete.
Low snap. Sears in big time trouble here and just finishing off. Getting back there is that Wiseman, it looks like.
One of the best open field tackles I've seen Jasper make in a while.
All right, so we got a timeout here. It's going to be 3rd and extremely long for Harrison when we come back with 1:22 on the clock here in the first half. Jasper 28, Warriors 12 here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Warriors come back onto the field after the timeout there. 1:22 to go. 3rd and 30 is what they're facing from the 15-yard line.
Well, I know they're down, but I just throwing the ball here and an incomplete of any sort is just, that's what they're doing.
All right, so Sears flushed out of the pocket. He tries to chuck it out there, and they said he caught the football. So again, trying to hit his weapon, Xavier Thomas, but pass was low there, and it's going to be spotted right at the 30-yard line. So pick up a 15 on the play, but they needed 30. So this time, I assume the Cats are calling this timeout with 52 seconds. Because again, Harrison's going to have to punt the football, and
nobody called timeout. Clock's still running.
Yeah, the clock is running.
Oh, there they go. No, you're correct. I think they're going to make an adjustment. He was out there waving his hands to stop the clock for.
Oh no, that's the timeout clock.
Well, you can't put it. You can't put it out there with the. Well, the referee or the zebra came out and he was waving his hands. Like stop the clock, stop the clock.
Right, but I think you're right because they put 60 seconds on the clock. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Timeout, so now 14 seconds, but. Yeah, again, the Wildcats in this situation, if they can get back there and get a block on this punt, or if not, just get pressure on him because that's what they've been able to do. And he's been getting the punts away, but they've been low and returnable. All right, so the Wildcats with a 28-12 lead.
The other thing you were talking about his punts not being, he got the good bounce on the one, but they've all been around his feet on the snaps, and we have gotten really close to blocking them. I'm wondering if the specialty teams coaches are going to say, hey, let's bring the house. I mean, heck, why not? You're up 16, and we get the ball at the start of the second half.
All right, so the Wildcats get their horses back out there. And I tell you what, especially on the Harrison left side, our right side, boy, they look really light as far as the size of the players out there on this punt team. And boy, if you get Sheeter plowing right through there.
Well, they're coming up too.
All right, so they're coming after him, but he's able to get the punt off, and it's a pretty good one. Fair catch called right there by Day at the 35-yard line. So the Wildcats with 1:07 on the clock have an opportunity here. Run a little bit more of a 1-minute offense, but just a chance to get more points on the board here.
Well, this is one where the coach, as he is right now, talking to Winesapple, if he does try to get a quick strike and we are successful there, is don't get happy feet. Don't let a ball go that you're not supposed to. Because the way we're controlling the game right now, if you float one up there and they take a pick six, it changes the whole outcome of the way we're feeling when we go into halftime. So he's telling him make sure you know what you're doing.
All right, so here we go. The Wildcats split out 3 wide receivers, 2 to our near side, 1 to the far there. That's Foley, and now there's a penalty flag. I guess we may have had some movement on the line of scrimmage. See what the call is. Actually, it's going to go against the Warriors offside. No, they're calling it against Wildcats. Okay, so I was saying the Wild. Oh, it's against. All right. Yeah, who's it against? Because he's walking the other way. Wow. Okay. All right, the line judge went 5 yards forward. Jasper was celebrating over there, so thinking maybe it was against Harrison, but the referee, the man in the white hat, said no, it's against the Wildcats. So that moves the Cats back 5 to the 30-yard line.
How's the song go? Put your right foot in, take your right foot out.
Playing a little hokey poke. All right, so we'll do it again. Same formation for the Cats. Single back is Day back there. He's looking for Foley. It's going to be a one-on-one matchup. Foley goes up and brings it down, but it falls to the ground, and it looks like it's going to be an incomplete pass there. But, man, it was kind of a one-on-one against Xavier Thomas, and that's quite a matchup if you're looking for 2 really good football players on the football field. And Foley almost had it but couldn't hang on.
Well, we had talked about that. That's what Foley brings to the table. He can go up and get him, and the way he was slammed down to the turf, happened to go totally off balance to try to pull that in. But most guys wouldn't. That would have been a pick right there. But Foley did a nice job of going up and taking it away. Just unfortunately couldn't finish it.
All right, so 2nd down and 15. Winesapple hit as he throws, so the ball's going to be short. He had Ewing out here in the flat, but he took a nice pop there. Trying to check the number to see who made that hit on the quarterback. Look as I was number, I thought I saw 63, but yeah, it is number 63, but there's no 63 on the roster, so nice play, 63.
Weisenberger, that number 14 for him, did a nice job of coming out. And if we could have got the ball to Ewing, it would have been mano a mano.
Day in the backfield. They give it to him on the right side. He cuts up field, gets across the 35 to about the 37-yard line.
Boy, if they do not burn a timeout, that really helps us. Gosh, dogs.
All right, so the Warriors will call a timeout here to force a 4th down. All right, so we'll take a quick break here. 28-12, Jasper leads with 43 seconds to go here in the first half on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Wildcats are forced to punt here. Mo Sutton in his 2nd year with the Evansville Harrison Warriors. Want to maybe get pressure on the quarterback or get a good return by Xavier Thomas, who's back here to receive this punt.
I think I'd be pushing towards the sidelines here. That's exactly what he's doing.
Charlie Cabrick getting the punting responsibilities, nice. And he actually fields it, and the Cats are right on top of it. Trying to see who made the play. It looks like may have been number 20, Braylon Bear, getting down there to make that stop. So no return, 35 seconds, and Cats defense is going to have to make sure they don't let the big play happen here with 35 seconds to go.
That was a huge play, a great open field tackle right there. If he spins out of it, he's got green pastures on the far side, but one of the better open field tackles we've seen in this early season.
All right, so Harrison needs 80 yards for a touchdown. Not much time to do it here as we come towards the end of the first half.
Well, we've seen in their initial drives at the beginning of the game, they don't need much time. We've got to be disciplined here. Allbrand's got him.
So Sears will go under center this time, and they actually pitch out, and the Cats just all over it. And it looks like Sheeter making the play there. He's able to run down number 11, Alfonso Anderson. So the clock will continue to run, 18 seconds, see if they just let it run out.
Coach, go fence here. Go fence.
I would think so.
All right, so the Wildcats are going to go into the halftime break here with a 28-12 lead over the Harrison Warriors. So, Bob, what are your thoughts on that first half?
A little shaky. I think maybe some guys at the beginning were not hearing the coach's words, always be ready. I mean, from the dawn of time when you're coaching, the first thing you tell the kids, kickoff, you've got to be ready, very first play. And it took Jasper a little bit to get their feet underneath them, but when they did, I mean, last quarter and a half, they've controlled this game.
Right. Well, and it did start a little shaky there for the Wildcats. 35-yard pass play and then an 18-yard touchdown play quickly put Harrison on top, 6-0, and then the Wildcats came back. 55-yard run by the quarterback, Weinzappel, and then finished off with a 2-yard run by Sheeter, made it 7-6, forced Harrison to punt, and then the Wildcats gave it up on downs. Of course, Harrison came back with a 30-yard pass play, and then a kind of stop on the quarterback, but then on a 3rd and 17, Sears was able to scramble away and take it 53 yards for their second score, and they led 12-7 at that point. But then the Wildcats were able to come right back, take the lead 14-12, and they've had the lead since, putting 2 more scores on the board to put us at this 28-12 halftime break. So we'll take a break. Wildcats leading the Harrison Warriors here on 18 WJTS. We're at halftime here at Romaine Stadium. The Jasper Wildcats lead the Harrison Warriors 28-12 right now. And we'll take a look at some of the numbers brought to you with pride by Matt and Dave Messmer. They do an outstanding job of giving us these stats every football game. First of all, for the Wildcats, 11 first downs to 4 for the Harrison Warriors. 22 rushes for 170 yards. 117 yards in the air on 5 of 10 passing by Will Weinzappel. And Weinzappel actually leads the Wildcats in rushing as well with 56 yards on 5 carries. Ewing 3 carries for 52 yards. Isaac Day 42 yards. And Ashton Sheeter with a strong 7-yard average for his 28 yards on the night. Weinzappel has completed his passes to Cooper Ewing, 2 catches for 23 yards. Connor Foley caught a 45-yard touchdown. And Jack Allbrand, 26 yards on his reception. And Ian Gieser also has a reception for 23 yards. And, again, 287 yards of offense against Harrison's 115 yards. And, the key thing here is that Harrison, who is also a team that really wants to establish some sort of running game, but it seemed like they just kind of disappeared from that early on with just 11 carries for 19 yards tonight.
Well, the Jasper defense on their stack 3, the one thing that they have been solid on is the middle. Any success that Harrison's had tonight, whether it's been running the ball, other than the one draw when we just over pursued and came up and him going up the middle, they haven't done diddly squat going up the middle.
Yeah.
So Jasper's done a good job on that. And, when the tide started to change in that first half, they moved Allbrand over, and it seems like he's paying Thomas a lot of attention. And if you're going to put somebody out there and have them go mano a mano with Thomas, you'd think it'd have to be all Brandon. That's what the coaches are going with.
And the thing is, defensively for the Wildcats have really put Harrison in some tough situations after those first 2 scores that they had. But, man, really just with the tackles for losses, you just kind of almost name half the defense here. Ty Wiseman leads the Wildcats with 4 tackles, 2 of those coming for loss, total of 10 yards there. Cale Schmidt has 3.5 tackles for loss, 13 yards total. And then Ashton Sheeter with a couple. And Wilt Wallace got credit for 1.5 as well. But Michael Beekler also with an 8-yard tackle for loss. But, man, Michael Beekler really put a block out there whenever they moved the tackle out on that screen pass going to Foley, and then he just races 45, 46 yards for that touchdown to give the Wildcats that 28-12 lead.
Well, it is so difficult, back in our day when we ran the power I and we would go back and when the outside, when the tailback would get it, the guard would be pulling from the backside, and it was always so difficult to get up in there. Of course, we had some tremendous running backs that were able to kind of stutter step and all that. But to say about Beekler getting out to that block, I mean, he had to be on his horse.
Right.
And not only did he get out there, he got his body in the right position, got his base underneath him. That guy had no shot at tackling Foley. Now, Foley's hard enough to bring down, one-on-one. But to have Beekler laying that block there, I mean, it couldn't have worked out any better for Jasper.
Well, it's such a well-designed play, too, because, again, you're utilizing an offensive lineman that's got the quickness that Beekler has. I mean, he's an outstanding basketball player in addition to what he does on the football field. But, just a really nice play design there because, again, he's not downfield. He's, running parallel to the line of scrimmage there and, just able to get to that spot and make that play. I just thought it was tremendous.
Yeah, what a lot of people, they see that block that we're talking about. They usually don't see the little bump that he gives somebody else to stop that guy from coming in, maybe a shooting linebacker from getting to Weinzappel's backside. So you just got to kind of hit him, knock him off his stride, and get your tail out there. That could go down. I know we're early, but it's one of the better blocks of the season.
Right. All right, so we're set to start this second half. Jasper back to receive the kickoff. So it looks like, well, actually they kick it short, so the Cats are going to field it right there at the 30-yard line. Full head of steam there now, breaking to the outside and getting all the way to midfield. So a good return there. I'm trying to see who it was. Yeah, it looks like it was Wiseman, I believe. All right.
Jasper's doing a lot better job tonight on securing the football. They're not extending their arm out and holding it like a loaf of bread. Wiseman was getting popped. He had it protected. That's exactly what you got to do to prevent those fumbles.
There's actually a third kickoff return tonight for Ty Wiseman, so sets up the Wildcats right there at midfield. Great field position to start this second half.
Looks like they're bringing their linebackers into the middle again.
So they give it straight up to the fullback. He's able to rush for a couple yards there.
Looked like Sheeter going up in there.
Yeah, so Sheeter gets the carry. So 2nd down and 8. Jasper leads 28-12 here, start of the second half.
Jasper did the pass to Foley, the misdirection, and the counter coming up, and they've been successful in both those. I wonder if they'll try to go back to the well here shortly.
Sheeter gets it on the right side. He's got an opening. Good block there. Sets him up, and that was Albrand, I believe. No, actually, check that. That was Cooper Ewing put a nice block here to open up that outside. And he's able to get easily first down yardage there all the way down to the 37-yard line.
Well, when Sheeter got to the outside, Aaron Finnott came up for number 33 for Harrison. And it's really the result you see quite a bit. He hit Sheeter. He went flying. Sheeter kept going.
All right, so 11 yards to the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Cats there. Weinzappel hangs on. He's got the options. He's just going to keep it right there. He's got a nice opening, so he'll pick up close to first down yardage, depending on where they spot it there. He goes out of bounds, looks like at the 28-yard line, so maybe a yard short.
You know, even though this is Wines-Apple's second start of the season, and he didn't get a great deal of experience last year, his decision-making tonight is a lot quicker and a lot more definite tonight than what it was in that first ball game. And you keep improving like that towards the end of the season, you really got something special.
So 2nd down and 2 for the Wildcats. Day in the backfield. And they give it to him on the right side. There's plenty of room. Spins away from the 20 and goes all the way down to the 15-yard line. So a pickup of 13 on that 2nd down run.
Even though it's kind of expected, every time Day touches the ball, he does something to kind of make me just shake my head and smile a little bit. That little dip to the inside, and then the guy hitting him, and all running backs are taught spin with the motion of the defender and get another 4 yards. I mean, that is huge when you're trying to eat the clock and put the game away.
So they spotted at the 14-yard line, so we'll give them 14 yards on that run. 1st and 10 for the Cats. Opening drive of the second half. Wines-Apple caught from behind this time. And taking him down there is number 58, Elijah Brinkley.
Well, the way we're moving the ball, as long as we don't get 2 or 3, 4 of those in a row through a possession of the ball, I'm okay with that, because you're going to hit the slant every once in a while that the defense is coming into you. But once again, nice job going down to the turf, making sure the ball was protected.
So a loss of 1 puts it back to the 15, actually just shy of the 15-yard line, but we'll call it 2nd and 11 from there. Sheeter in the backfield. Now this time a little rollout. He's got the man. If he can get it to Foley, just drops it right in there. Foley hauls it in for the touchdown. So a 15-yard hookup on the bootleg play. And the tight end wide open over there. Nice touch there by the quarterback to put it right into his hands. So the Cats put 6 on the board.
Well, that's a great example of putting the ball where the receiver needs to be, not where he's at. Because Harrison had that. If he's short on a couple of those rollouts tonight, he was. If he's short on that one, that may be a pick 6 going the other way. But he said, I believe in you, big fella. Turn on the speed, go get it. And that's exactly what happened.
So 2nd touchdown reception of the night by Foley. And the extra point popped right through. So Jasper takes less than 3 minutes, 9:17 on the clock, leads 35-12 here on 18 WJTS. So Connor Foley set to boot it and squibs it right on the field, and now it's going to go all the way. Oh, boy, this is a real tough situation for the Warriors now. And do they call a safety? No, that's what the players were wanting, but no, they actually stopped him. But, boy, could not handle it there, and eventually number 4, Miles Terry, was able to get his hands on it. But, boy, the Wildcats just took care of him right away, and so now Harrison in a real tough situation here from the 2-yard line.
Well, Foley put a couple in the end zone tonight, and then he had that squib, the last one he did, and then he did this one again. Maybe the coach has seen it, something. Maybe it was 2 little coinkydinks there, but, boy, did they work out in Jasper's favor. Got a good chance for a safety here.
All right, we'll see what the Wildcats can do defensively, putting pressure on them. See if we can see somebody like Jacob Potts or someone get back there. Michael Beekler, of course, on the defensive line as well. And we got a penalty flag, and this may be movement by Harrison, moving him back another yard. Yep, that is the case. So now they need 99 yards to go on this drive.
Boy, this is really a funny game. You're talking early to midway in that second quarter. Jasper just changed this game, changed their attitude, and took the life out of Harrison. They're just going backwards.
They're going to want to throw it, and he just chucks it out there looking for a man out in the flat, but boy, just heavy pressure put on the quarterback.
Well, you know Jasper's doing a heck of a lot better job of the outside linebackers coming in and turning up speed, really making him belly wide a lot deeper than he wants to on those rollouts. He's still getting to the outside. We're going to have to drop up another 2 or 3 because if the receiver goes long, we've got nobody out there. And with their speed and their athletes, that could spell doom.
Yeah, actually out there defensively is sophomore Carter Holsworth, number 8, putting the pressure on the quarterback on that play. So falls incomplete, 2nd down and 11. And Harrison operating from their own 1-yard line. Now they give it to the right side, not much room there, but he's able to get close to the 5-yard line. So gives him a little bit more breathing room, but not much. Still facing about a 3rd and 7.
You know, that's one thing that really has impressed me with Coach Lewis is that he looks out on the field. He doesn't see juniors and seniors and sophomores. He sees athletes. And regardless of what grade level you're at, if you're an athlete and you can help the team, he'll give you a shot.
Right. So 8:30 on the clock here. Jasper marched right down the field quickly on their first drive. 35-12 they lead. 3rd quarter action here from Romaine Stadium in Evansville, Indiana. And give us to the left side and try to break away, but they almost had him push back into the backfield, but he makes a little spin move there to save face. But Harrison's going to have to punt from the end zone.
Yeah, you're right. It was safety central, and he did do a good job of spinning out. I mean, he was fighting for his life just to get on the other side of the goal line.
So the Wildcats defense, after the kickoff, started Harrison from the 2-yard line, now forcing him to punt here. So, and actually Day is waiting right there at the 29-yard high snap. Tough situation there, almost blocked there by Wiseman, but boy, what a punt he got off, my goodness. Man, oh man, all the way to the Wildcat 44-yard line. Yeah, because Day was set up right there at the 39-yard line, and boy, but he was able to get that away, and heavy pressure by the Cats after the low snap.
Well, he had all that adrenaline going through his body. Yeah. Got it. I was really, our angle's not the best here in the old white hat sitting out there watching down. The way they've been snapping the ball high and he's had to jump up and come down, I was really thinking that the out of bounds was going to come into play there, but evidently he was close, but not close enough.
All right, so Will Weinzappel will operate this time from his own 44-yard line. Day in the backfield. The Cats looking to throw here. Throws it across the middle, and we don't get a penalty flag here as there's some contact offensively there. Actually, he was looking for number 6 on that play, and that's Joey McGimpsey, a sophomore. Or check that, a senior. Dempsey getting an opportunity to play some offense here.
Well, a lot of people watching that going, oh, man, that was so close. He had to put it there. Either receiver's going to go up, make a miraculous play, or it's an incomplete. That's the only 2 options for Jasper. He had 2 guys right in front of him.
This time, Weinzappel keeps it. Met right there at the line of scrimmage.
He kind of rolled a little deeper on that curl than he did on most of them, which gave their linebackers a little bit more of a chance to get to the outside and pull him down.
All right, so pickup of about 3 on that play will set up a 3rd and 7. The ball rests right there at the 47-yard line.
You got to think Mr. Foley comes into play somewhere here.
Quarterback keeps it, fumbles the football, and Harrison's going to pick it up right there. Number 55 bounces on it right away. And again, we don't have a 55 on the roster here, but regardless, Harrison comes up with the football. All right, so the Warriors make the defensive play they needed. Still trailing 35-12 in this football game, but gives Harrison a little bit more life out there.
Well, you put the ball this far down on the other side of the field, that that really opens it up for the speed that they have. That right there was just one of those cases with Winesapple. We had talked about how late he pitches, but his timing's been pretty decent. Well, not that time, but maybe the defense can come in and save the day.
So Harrison in Jasper territory here at the 46-yard line, 1st and 10.
Playing about 8 yards off Thomas. A little confusion there.
All right, so we're going to have the first time out of the second half called by the Warriors. 6:34 on the clock. Jasper 35, Warriors 12 on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Warriors, after the timeout, face a 1st and 10 after the Wildcat turnover, trying to take advantage here. Low snap. Sears, though, he's going to loft it out there. And that's Allbrand coming in. Did he pick it off? No, it's actually received right there by Garrett Whipple. He was able to haul that pass in. So Allbrand went for the interception instead of trying to knock it away, but Whipple was able to squeeze it, and Warriors now in business from the 24-yard line.
Well, the number one rule is even if you go for the interception instead of knocking it down, which with Allbrand's talent, I think I would have. But he didn't let the guy get past him. He didn't blow the play. Guy caught it, but he didn't get any yards after the catch. So Allbrand did what he needed to do.
So 22-yard connection, 1st and 10 from the 24. He's going to air it out again this time, and now it's an opportunity to knock it away. So the Wildcats make the defensive play there.
I think the stripes out there were looked like he was trying to reach down to his handkerchief there for a little bit, because the defender or the offensive receiver became the defender, kind of grabbed our guy and slammed him down. Of course, looks like he got the worst of it.
Yeah, so again, I'm trying to, our numbers are just awful. They're trying to read here. He's walking to the sideline. I still cannot see his number. Those yellow numbers are just so hard to read.
Tell you what, I'll bring a
That was
Sharpie.
actually Beekler, number 50, had made the play there. So, man, he dropped back.
I'll bring a Sharpie next week.
All right, so they're actually helping the Harrison player off the field. So hopefully he's okay, but maybe the assistance of 2 to 3 coaches over there, but he's starting to walk it. I can't see if that was Xavier Thomas or.
Well, he's big enough to be Thomas.
Play. Yeah. All right, so second down and 10. Ball still at the 24-yard line. It stops the clock at 5:46 here in the third quarter. Jasper up 35-12. But the Warriors trying to take advantage of a Wildcat fumble, trying to put some more points on the board.
You got to think that with the heat that Jasper's bringing from their linebackers, that they're going to have to start rolling that quarterback out and seeing if they can get something going that way. Because as soon as he plants his foot, he's got a lot of white shirts up in his face.
So they bring in Pete Brown to replace Thomas, and they also split out over there number 4, Miles Terry.
Here we come again.
Drops back, just lofts it out there, and now this should be an easy pick for the Cats, and it is. All right, so the Wildcats get it right back on their own turnover there on the interception. Again, trying to see who made the play there. All right, hustling off the field, and it looks like Bear picked that one off, so he's going to be able to run off the field. A little gimpy there after the play, but nice job by Bear to read that and make the easy pick.
That was number 19 kind of coming off. That's Wiseman, isn't it?
Yeah, but Braylon Bear made the interception.
Yeah, but I mean he came charging in from the backside and put some good pressure on him to make him release the ball early.
Right.
But
Okay.
either he's cramping up or he kind of rolled his ankle.
Yeah, I see him there. All right, he's actually laying down here on the sideline, so they're going to take a look at him. But the Wildcats will have the football at their own 7-yard line after the interception. Giving a right side, and that is Sheeter.
That was a great tackle against Sheeter. That's the only thing you can really do against a man. You try to meet him face up, you're going in the wrong direction. But getting in his legs right there did a nice job of taking him out, keeping him to a very short gain.
So a 3-yard pick up to the 10-yard line.
You still got your bucks leaving.
So 2nd down and 7, 5:04 on the clock here. Cats with the football back after the interception. Sheeter on the right side and tries to make a spin move there. Gets close to the 1st down yardage, see if he can get there. He'll spot it just maybe a yard short. So pickup of 6 on the play, 3rd and 1.
Yeah, this is, if you just want to kind of run the clock out, I mean, this is where you do it. You were talking about sustained drives earlier, but you got this much of the field and you're going 3, 4, 5 yards. You know, you can eat up all the rest of this quarter, most of the 4th quarter.
All right, so they give it again. And actually a flag flies late. This may be a face mask here as Day was able to get the necessary yard, it looks like, for the 1st down.
His body kind of changed in a different direction.
Actually, he rushed that to the 22-yard line, so plenty for that 1st.
Well, it looks like Harrison's walking backwards.
So 5-yard pickup and a 5-yard face mask. So a net of 10 on the play on the rush and the penalty.
You know, that's one thing I never really bought into, that face mask. I mean, it's either 15 or it's not. I mean, you're flying out there so fast and you touch their face mask, the flag comes out. I mean, if you're not gaining an advantage, let it go.
Right.
If you're not twisting his head, let it go.
All right, so 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
Here's our counter.
Counter play and actually read nicely there defensively. And he's pretty proud of himself making that play, but Trayvon Hooks, take that back. It's Garrett Whipple, number 5, making the play.
Well, you are correct. That was an outstanding read, good open field tackle. If it's not for him, we're still running the ball. But when you sit up there and you try to fire yourself up, I get it. But, you know, you're sitting there pumping your fist. You look up at the scoreboard, you know. If you're just Jasper, it's like, dude, scoreboard.
All right, so 3:40 on the clock here, 2nd and 10. Cats from their own 26. Right side, power run right there. So Sheeter really enjoying his first 2 games as a fullback for this Wildcat football team. Rushes there for a 1st down.
That was an outstanding run with purpose. Got that ball, seen the sticks, and went very, very hard at him. Very decisive.
So the 11 yards, spots the ball at the 37-yard line. Waiting for the
say,
chains to move there.
I started to question myself a little bit there. It's like I thought I seen the guy give the 1st down.
All right, Sheeter again. Look at him. Another rush of 11 yards. So Sheeter, 2 straight 11-yard runs there. Another 1st down for the Cats, this time from the 48-yard line.
Well, that particular run there, we're given to the big fellas up front. They did a great job coming off and curling into the linebackers and keeping them out. Sheeter hit the hole and he went fast, but it wasn't until 8, 9 yards before he was even touched. The offensive line was outstanding on that play.
So the Cats looking to chew up some clock on this drive here. 1st and 10 with 2:10 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Up 35-12. It's time a little play action. He's got Foley. Lofts it out there. Foley just waits for it to come. He fields it right there at about the 21-yard line, and he's able to take it the rest of the way for the 52-yard score. So 3rd touchdown reception tonight by the big tight end.
It's amazing. I mean, it even looked like he kicked it into another gear doing that. And he had to take a little contact. Winesapple puts that ball another 3 yards. I mean, that's just an easy cakewalk in. But, you know, he got that. He didn't get knocked down. He finished the play. Winesapple did a good job of rolling off to his weak side, setting his feet and getting one out there. So, once again, you know, working together nicely.
You know, and the other thing, too, is just, again, with the Wildcats rushing attack, it just sets up that play-action play, especially when you do the bootleg to the opposite side. And Cats working to perfection for the second time tonight. And doing his job all night tonight, as well as Sam Leonard, as he puts the 42nd point on the board. Jasper leads by 30, 42-12 here on 18 WJTS. All right, with the Wildcats in control with 1:53 on the clock here in the third quarter. Leonard this time will kick it off, and he kicks it straight ahead, and it rolls out of bounds. So Harrison will have the football at the 35-yard line. We'll see if we see any personnel changes on the defensive side. Doesn't look so far. We've still got our first team unit out there.
You know, with that kickoff right there, you have to think that the game plan is to squib it down. Goes out of bounds, they're getting on the 35. Heck, their returns, other than the really messed up one they had down there where we almost put them in for safety, their starting position's been the 30, 35-yard line. So,
right.
You know, take away the opportunity of a big play, but you would have to think that they're getting instructed to squib it down the field.
All right, so the Wildcat front line of Will Wallace, Michael Beekler, and Jacob Potts. See if they can continue to manhandle that line of scrimmage defensively. Now the Cats getting pressure on the quarterback, and he's able to get away and try to dump it off there. But again, that was number 8, Carter Holsworth, getting after him, forcing him out of the pocket.
Well, when Cabrick came up, got the pressure, like you said, get him out of the pocket. He wanted to dump it over, but Cabrick did a nice job of coming a little wide on his, coming out to the receiver. So he had to force it 5 yards down. The receiver had no chance to get it.
All right, so a substitution here is number 82. Carmel Williams comes in, and Sheeter's going to get a break. He's doing the job. Or check that. No, actually, Michael Beekler comes off. So, again, two-way player for the Wildcats getting a break here. Beekler making some big plays here, both offensively and defensively. So Sears will go under center here with an eye backfield.
Bringing heat again.
Looks to throw down the middle of the field. Albrand again trying to go for the interception there, knocks it away, but it's a good read on the football there on that play, and so it's going to force a third down and 10 as it stops the clock with 1:37.
You know, that's one thing I really admire about Albrand. When that ball goes up, I mean, kind of like when he's on the baseball team in the outfield. I mean, he just goes after everything, and he gets there so fast. And the thing about it is, even though, you know, going for the interception like you mentioned, he's got the ability. And his quickness to it, in his mind, every single one of them is his.
Yeah.
And that's the exact attitude that you need in a cornerback like him.
You know, and that's the thing. Also, another thing with that is just really good vision that he's got back there. Getting a good read on the quarterback on every play. All right, so he throws out there into flat. So, again, trying to do what they can to get Xavier Thomas involved in the football game, but he's not able to haul that one in. And so Harrison, 3 plays and out, will have to punt.
Jasper is just, we had talked about it, kind of like, you know, 8-9 minute mark of the second quarter, just really starting to lay the wood, you know. And it all started, in my opinion, with the specialty teams when they laid them out. And now you can see the quarterback's dropping back, planting his foot, and just getting rid of it. He's tired of getting pounded by this defense.
All right, so number 2, Evan Doan, back here to punt. Actually,
play clock.
Yeah, it's going to be a delay of game, so that's going to push him back another 5 here. So Harrison, it's going to be really frustrating for Mo Sutton. He's in his second year here at Harrison, just trying to, you know, just turn things around, build a winning culture. I mean, he's a player that played for Harrison back in the 90s when they had some really good football teams. He played a little college ball at the University of Indianapolis and coached at 6A powerhouse Indianapolis Pike, but trying to build a new culture down here and having a tough time again tonight. Well, it hits a Wildcat, so it's actually having to be fielded by Day, but he alertly picks it up, and he's still trying to make a move there. Turns around, and probably just better just to go down there and protect that football. So he's going to run a lot of real estate, but only gain a few yards up to the 34-yard line is where they'll spot this football. But, yeah, alertly, though, because it hit a Wildcat coming down. He didn't expect it there. So Day, good hands there to pick up that football and at least get something out of it.
Well, with Day being the return guy that he is, the defense or the Harrison Warrior player that was there, his eyes were focused on him, so he didn't see it come off the Jasper player. Did a nice job, but I'm kind of with you. You know, the game's out of reach for Harrison. And, well, I guess the stars could fall out of the sky, too. We don't need Day taking any unnecessary punishment. We're going to need him deep into the season.
So actually we got Joey McGimsey out there splitting to our near side. Winesapple still at the quarterback spot. Day gets the run this time. I'll check that out. It was actually Sheeter. So Sheeter with another nice run, picks up about 6.
I kind of feel, well, in some weird way, compassionate for these defensive backs for Harrison. The offensive line is definitely taking control of this game. And it's hard enough to tackle Sheeter when he first gets the ball. You let him get steam. These little guys are coming up there, and they're just taking a beating from him.
Second down, Winesapple gives it to the right side. He's got an opening.
Sheeter
showing a little bit of speed this time as he's able to get a huge run there all the way to the Harrison 40-yard line, so a 20-yard run for the big senior.
Yeah, they're going to roll him up on the sideline right now. Maybe we went out of bounds, so we'll start the ball on the snap, but get that big fella some rest. He's done his work tonight. I'm just wondering if we're going to see him into the fourth quarter. He's running really well right now, but, you know the old luck thing. You go out there and put somebody out there when you should be on the sidelines because you got the game tucked away. That's usually when the crazy things happen.
Well, this is another situation. The reason why the Wildcats, for the most part, keeping their starters out there, they want to get that 35-point lead to get a running clock for that fourth quarter. So again to the right side. And another big run there. This time Day does it. So he's going to rush that football to the 27-yard line, so 13 yards there.
Well, Heichelbeck and the boys are just really starting to make these guys from Harrison want to go home for the evening already. And you were talking about the 35 points running clock. It's going to happen.
All right, so we'll go to the fourth quarter. Jasper with the football at the 28-yard line. We'll face a 1st and 10 with a 42-12 lead over the Harrison Warriors on 18 WJTS. All right, the Wildcat offense heads out on the field. Trying to finish off this drive, leading 42-12. They'll start at the 28-yard line here. Give to the right side. There's an opening. Closes quickly, though, but he's able to get across the 25 to the 24. So the Wildcats, I think, making some changes out there and trying to see who rushed the football on that play. Still cannot tell.
Well, I think the coaching staff for Harrison has just thrown in the towel as far as Jasper putting the ball in the air. They've got everybody up within like 7-8 yards of the line of scrimmage. We get through that initial line, it could be to the house. I mean, look how tight they're coming up.
Get on the left side, he's got an opening, and he takes it inside the 5. So I'm trying to see the number. I think that may be Landon Fleck, sophomore. So this time he gets it all the way down to the 2-yard line.
Well,
so pickup of I'm going to call it 24-yard run there.
What we just spoke about, you get past that initial line. I thought he was actually going to sneak in, but I'm sure we will push this in.
All right, they give it to the sophomore on the left side, and he gets it in for the score. So 3 carries for Landon Fleck. 5'6", 140 pounds, but man, he showed some ability there. 3 carries for the touchdown.
Even though that was a lot shorter, and I know he got the score at the end, but that was one of his more impressive runs of the 3 that he had, because he had somebody on him right away.
Right.
And he just kind of leaned forward, drove his legs. He smelled that end zone. He wanted a piece of it.
So the extra point attempt here coming by Leonard. Good snap, good hold. Leonard just pops it through nonchalantly, and what a night he's had tonight. Cats have scored 7 touchdowns. He pops 7 through the goalpost there. Cats lead 49-12 here on 18 WJTS. I have sophomore Landon Fleck. It's the 3 carries to start this 4th quarter. 3 carries for 28 yards and finishes with a 2-yard touchdown. Jasper 49, Harrison 12. We should see a running clock for the rest of the quarter here. Man, really nice boot. Fielded right there at the 7-yard line. Trying to get to the outside.
Good
Cats
pursuit.
are able to close in there. And trying to see the number who made the play. And that looks like it was number 6, McGimsey. So Joey gets some good action tonight. All right, so the Wildcat defense looks like we're making some substitutions out there to give some guys some varsity action tonight. Clock continues to run. We're at 10 minutes, so good thing about this, Bob, 10 minutes, game's over.
We're out. I tell you what, this is such a blessing for these coaches. Whenever your first team goes out there and plays the way they do, now you can see how the youngsters are going up at varsity speed, and you can give a good read. And they got 9 minutes to do it too.
All right, so Harrison making some changes near backfield. Looks like that was number 17, freshman Anthony Floyd getting a carry.
Nice job of making a little something out of nothing there.
All right, I'd love to see who the number was that made the stop there, but I think it was 25 out there, Landon Fleck. Getting some linebacker opportunities, if I read that right, but they're playing a corner spot right now. Mitchell Linebach, number 84. And hitting the backfield. No room as the Wildcats are able to get in there quickly.
Well, these young fellas are doing a nice job of wrapping up.
Actually playing middle linebacker, making those last 2 plays. I think it was number 65, Jake Winesapple. 5'10" junior. All right, so the Warriors looking to throw. They're trying to get it to Xavier.
It's not there. There you go.
He goes down, and Sears is trying to run it through and may get close to this first down. All right, so the clock will continue to run there. So the quarterback's able to rush it to the 30-yard line, gets the first down. So they're going to move the chains.
Well, even though the score is what it is, we're still paying an awful lot of attention to Thomas out here. We had 3 guys in his vicinity. And when he goes deep and with his speed and our guys fall back, quarterback comes around, if he's got his eyes open, he's going to see 10, 12 yards before anybody can get to him.
Right. All right, 6 seconds on the play clock as Sears was late to get to the huddle there, so they're going to have to hustle up to get this play off, and they do not. So we got to delay a game on the Harrison Warriors coming up.
Was that 3rd or 4th one tonight?
Yeah, I think so. All right, so they'll push it back 5 there to the 25-yard line. Clock continues to run with 6:55 to go here in this football game. Jasper, after falling behind 12-7 in the first quarter, pretty well taking control since then.
Took them a while to get that game clock going. Or I mean that play clock.
Landon Fleck is out there in one of the outside linebacker spots. They give it to the tailback.
Nice run.
He's able to cut up field. So the freshman, number 17, Antonio Floyd, getting another nice run there.
Well, we had him for a 3-yard loss, but when we went by, we got up around the shoulder pads when we slid off. You know, he's not the biggest guy in the world. You just get down. You know, you get a shoulder pad on him, you're going to be able to bring him down, but he's strong enough to where he's going to get through these arm tackles.
All right, it's the Wildcat front three right now include Cameron Howard, number 51, Cole Trevino. Cats looking to stun on this play. Throws it out there, complete. Number 46 hauling it in. So they switch quarterbacks. Evan Doan now playing the quarterback spot, and he's able to hook up with Jalen Sutton right there, a freshman. Good size freshman too, 6'1", 210 pounds. Again, I wonder if he may be the son of head coach Mo Sutton.
See, there's probably a shot at that. But Coach Sutton's got to be pleased that even though the game's way out of control, that they're still. Now, we've got some new shirts in there, but his guys are still fighting. So, you know, that's a plus.
You know, in a situation like this, too, again, you got to find out who's committed to playing football, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, this gives this second group or third group or whatever's out there right now an opportunity to get some film on some players on a Friday night.
Another delay.
Yeah, that doesn't help. All right. Clock continues to run, 4:13 to go.
Well, one of the big issues that Coach Sutton's got over there is their late guys. You know, guys are coming in and the play clock's down to, 10, 11 seconds, and to get them lined up, that's going to catch you quite a few times.
Doan looking to throw this time, and he's going to pitch it out there to the freshman. So Antonio is able to get some good yardage there. So, again, nice play. Freshman making some plays here tonight. So Antonio Floyd gets a good chunk of that yardage back and is going to set up a 2nd and 4.
You know, I would say 70 to 75% of the defensive plays that Jasper's making, they're bringing heat. And I guess that's one of the big setups of the 3-3 stack. But the backside guy always seems like he's coming in hard.
Number 11 playing free safety right now for the Wildcats. That's Tyler Atkins out there. Pressure from the outside. And it's going to be a sack right there by number 25, Landon Fleck. So Fleck makes the play there, but also good pressure by Jake Winesapple, number 65.
Yeah, very fortunate for that quarterback. If he would have turned it, played with his foot and went backwards, Winesapple would have put roses on top of him.
Also playing one of the safety spots now is number 3, Austin Wren out there for the Wildcats.
I don't know what's going through a lot of these young men's minds, but as far as their body language and the way they get in their stance, they're welcoming this opportunity to show what they could do on the big boy level.
All right, so Doan getting chased down there. He's going to chuck it out there. He's got a man, and he can't haul it in. He looked for his tight end coming across on that hidden route, and that's Brooks Thomas. He's not able to haul it in, another freshman on the field.
Well, Thomas did a nice job of when he came across. He was supposed to come straight across the field, but he noticed that our defensive linebacker was back a little bit, so he bellied it out, got himself open. But our pursuit did not let the quarterback turn his hips straight, and he had to throw the ball kind of sideways, and that's why it went too far to the sidelines.
All right, so back to receive. It looks like that's Mitchell Lineback, number 84. There's a little bit of movement. They're not going to call the flag, but Doan's going to run the football. Again, he's their quarterback right now as well, and there's a pop put on him as he's heading towards the sideline by number 11, Tyler Atkins. But I think he got what he needed for that first down.
Yeah, it laid a good lick on him. Kind of one of those that it was so close to being right there by the sideline. You wonder if it happened on the other side if a flag would have came out. But
right.
You know what? He got the first down. Give props to the guy, but we made him pay for it. Every play they're getting hit.
All right, so Harrison will continue on, but this game is almost over with 33 seconds to go on the running clock. All right, nice. Cats putting good pursuit there on the running back. Number 9 running this time. That's Dominic Brown. And that is going to finish off this football game. So the Jasper Wildcats, again, as we mentioned, fell behind early in this football game, 6-0. Came back with a touchdown to make it 7-6. Harrison had a 12-7 lead then, but after that, it was just pretty well Wildcat domination to win this game 49-12.
Well, about all you can say about that game right there is evidently there's a light switch that's underneath the sideline seats there for the Cats, and they decided 7 minutes into the second quarter to turn that on, because from that point on it was just Jasper put a beat down on them.
Right.
So, kudos to those guys for being able to do that. Now, you got to straighten that up. You got to be ready at the beginning of the game, because we've got Wrights coming up next week. Rice is pretty gosh darn good this year.
Right.
You got Castle down the road, Mater Dei, and North. It's a SIAC. It's a beat. It's going to be there's going to be athletes every year or every week. You got to be ready at the beginning, because you do some of that with some of those other teams, you're not getting the score back. But give Jasper credit tonight. They did what they needed to do against an inferior team, and you're supposed to win these games. You're supposed to win them like this. So 2-0 going into the Wrights game. Jasper's looking pretty good.
So what are some of the things that impressed you tonight?
Our linebacker flow. When they would do their rollouts and pass at the beginning of the game, we were getting in a little bit too tight. But we started to belly them out. And every once in a blue moon, the quarterback may have gotten out for a run. But they changed their flow. And they changed the way whenever they stunted, they were not coming up to the line and planting their foot and then deciding where to go. They were making decisive moves. You've got the 3 big fellas that we do on that line. They can tie up some of these guys. But our linebacker flow and the flow of our defensive backs and our pursuits, our defense was just from that late in that second quarter, just outstanding.
Right. And that's the thing. I mean, when you take a look at our defense, as far as the linebackers, but we also really got some good quickness and athleticism, I think, on that front 3 with Will Wallace, Michael Beekler. You saw what he can do all over the football field tonight. And of course, all-conference player Jacob Potts. And, I just think that part of it, with the front line and also with the linebackers there. And then also our defensive backs, I thought we read the football really well in most of the pass plays.
Yeah, Brandon, he was so close to 2 or 3 different picks tonight. They say just knock the ball down. The game, don't let them get beat. First of all, the first one he tried to go in, the receiver caught the ball, but he got no yards after the catch. Mm-hmm. The other one he went forward, did a beautiful read, got to it, and the ball ended up being knocked down. He didn't get hurt there. So he's taking chances, but he's not taking chances that's hurting our defense in the deep back. But like you said, when I said linebacker flow, that does not happen unless those guys up front are doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're excellent.
You know, another thing, too, that was impressive when you look at the offensive side of the game, you know, again, last week we just saw really good balance with our 4 key runners back there. And, again, it was the same thing this week, 309 yards rushing on 41 carries. And, you know, Ashton Sheeter, 98 yards. Isaac Day, 75. Will Weinsapper, 65. Cooper Ewing, 52. So, again, it's just that power football game is just there so far in these first 2 games.
Well, Jasper's in a great position with Day and with Sheeter, Ewing doing what he does. You know, the guys that you get so many different styles. It's like, you know, who's in now? Like, you got to concentrate. Okay, Jasper runs this, Jasper runs that. No, it depends on who's running it.
Right.
You know, Day is more shifty. Sheeter just give you a headache by the end of the night. But all that doesn't happen without our offensive line. You know, those guys got up there and they start pounding. We talked about mid to late in the first quarter, towards the end of the game, you were just going to see a very different game. And that's exactly what happened. But what you had said earlier tonight, Jasper's playing team football right now.
Right.
Everything's working. We were a little sluggish to begin with. Coaching staff's making the right calls. You know, the guys are executing them. Jasper's just rolling right now.
Right. And then also that running game has set up the passing game nicely tonight. Connor Foley, 3 catches for 112 yards. All 3 of those catches going for touchdowns.
Put it up where he can go. You know, nobody else can go with him.
Right.
He reminds me of years ago, Southridge had a guy by the name of Steckler.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like 6'4". All they did was put the ball up.
Yeah.
Southridge and Jasper have never been known as winning games through the air.
Right.
But when you throw it up at top, let these guys go to, you know, a level that nobody else can go to. Foley, just like, you know, Steckler back in the day, they're studs. They will make the play. Foley and Sheeter tonight have proven once again, do not underestimate our speed.
Right.
Because when they did make the catch, and when Sheeter got to the outside, they planted that foot and they were gone.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, as far as the Wildcats, obviously a goal to win the SIAC this year. You got a big one next week against Wrights.
You know, when we were in the Big 8, Jasper was always the biggest game.
Right.
This SIAC,
it's like we
Kirk
couldn't make
Gooksell,
out.
dudes. You got to have dudes. Every one of these teams got dudes.
Right.
You know.
Right.
When you get into Castle, when you get into Wrights, and when you get into Mater Dei, 3 of the better teams in the SIAC, they have a lot of dudes.
Right.
Harrison had Thomas.
Right.
You know, you had a few. You had Xavier Tyler last week for Memorial.
Right.
But these other teams, they're just stacked,
Right.
and they're ready to go. Wrights is one of the big keys to Jasper winning the SIAC. We're getting home. We're feeling pretty good about ourselves. Don't do what Coach Lewis talked about on this game and get complacent. Don't let them, oh, you blew them out. They can't play it. Wrights remembers the beatdown that Jasper put on them last year.
Sure.
And they wouldn't like anything more than to come up to Joe Rollletter Field and do the same thing to the Cats.
Right. All right, so the Wildcats on 54 plays, 493 total yards tonight, and it basically just matches what happened on the scoreboard with a huge 49-12 win over the Evansville Harrison Warriors. So for Bob Welk and Jeremy Marcos on the video, this is Craig Schneider. Wildcats win it here on 18 WJTS. Good night.